What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Scrambled YEGs podcast. I am one of your hosts, Alex Fortin.
I'm Jim Kerr. I'm the other host.
And this is our guest. This is Will Hannigan.
Hi, I'm sorry about everything I said in the podcast that you're about to listen to.
No, he's not.
I am.
He's not.
I am. Believe me, I am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry.
It's a really fun podcast. Will is a stand-up comedian in town.
I am.
Tell us about your shows. What are you running?
I run The Secret Show. Just go to Instagram and type in The Secret Show YEG. Is that our Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can go to YEG Stand Up as well. There's
YEG
two dependable places to get your information.
Really good. Go check that out. You can smoke weed at the show, and I'll give you more details there.
Sweet. January 22nd, you are headlining the station on Jasper.
These boys' room.
Off the Rails Comedy.
A wonderful, beautiful room. Great bar. Come out and watch me formally apologize to everybody for what I've said in this podcast.
All right. Yeah. And for all my stuff, go to comedyaf.com for all your stuff.
At Kersey on Instagram, and just listen to our podcast.
All right. Enjoy this podcast with Will Hannigan. He's sorry.
I'm sorry.
This is another weird thing that I was thinking about.
The director unsuccessfully argued in court that the excrement was actually chocolate ice cream.
Oh, yeah. You know way too much about me.
If they had cat videos, they'd probably have more horns.
Somebody listening right now is offended and turned off Scrambled egg.
That's the hill I will die on.
I respect it.
That escalated quickly, though.
By the way, it's called Scrambled YEGs.
That's not the game, Jim. The game is who do you blame other than yourself? That's the game.
Jim's the nicest person in the world. Will just had his mic off. The first 11 minutes of this podcast.
I was so funny, too.
And if I was a pro comic, it's the first thing I would check. But
this is absolutely unusable. There's been 12 minutes because Hannigan's mic was off.
No.
And then Hannigan goes, whose fault do you think that was?
What did we talk about? Can we do it again?
Jim
Because
is
it was
so
funny.
nice. He's like, probably me. I'll just take the
I
blame.
should have checked.
You're not even going to be able to hear it a little bit?
You'll be able to hear it a little bit. Yeah,
No, there's no way.
Well,
Come
I'll-
on.
I'll write it all down.
We're
Write it all
yelling.
down, you can voice over. You can re-record your parts.
Okay, I just have to listen to Alex's mic then. I'll dub over the parts.
Yeah. Done.
I'll speak
Your
as I'm
answer?
speaking in the recording.
And then my answer won't make sense to what you say.
Stop. We'll figure it out in post.
Yeah. We'll figure it out in post, guys.
It's 100% unusable. This is the best.
It's not
men are
unusable.
undeniable.
Kate, how much is this mic going to pick up?
These are
if
the
I come
five-
Here, it's oh, you don't have a podcast anymore?
That's probably louder than
You guys
it was
have to
before.
recover that and then chop
Well,
it up
I've
and
got
give it to
it.
me, and you guys
Yeah.
can't share it to anybody. This is my property. It was really good. I'm going to use it on another podcast.
Just edit your quiet voice in the
I'm
background out.
just gonna memorize what I said after you send me the recording after making it sound really good.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, from the top. 3, 2.
Man, I was so likable in the beginning too. Now I
Yeah.
just sound like a dick.
So how's your weed show going?
Fucking who cares?
Guys, you ever give away the best bite of your sandwich?
That's what I feel like. Wow, we were just talking about giving the best bite away of your food, or someone biting the best part of your food away from you. And that's what I feel like just happened. The best part of me on this podcast was the first 11 minutes that my microphone was off.
It has been stripped of you. You don't even get to experience it ever.
Yeah, and
gone
you
forever
guys,
now.
my friends, took it. To tie it back to your dumb little cafeteria story.
I believe it was your fault, not Jim's.
I don't think it was my fault. I'm entering into a new environment. All right, I don't even know what's going on. There's lights everywhere.
Yeah. Will, have you been growing as a person lately? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I
How's
have.
your journey been? We talked about it on the ride over.
Do
Do you want to talk about that?
I'm getting better at I would have left.
Really?
I would have left after that,
Like a year or two ago?
or emotionally left. I would have been like, well, I tried, and I would be drinking right now.
So this new podcast would be absolutely unusable had this happened a year ago.
Maybe. I
You
don't
know what the best part is going to be? I'm going to salvage it, and people are going to hear this whole thing, and they're going to be like, it wasn't that funny.
It was only. Oh man, I don't know. I hope you don't salvage it and it becomes lore. It becomes comedy lore.
Yeah, man.
You hear that? Or Will
Like,
was
did you
not
hear about
recorded.
the Hannigan lost tapes.
Yeah, the lost tapes of Hannigan is just me like.
I'm sad. I'm sad.
What was that?
Me do an impression of old guys and what they think of me as a person.
Yeah. Oh, that was pretty funny.
That was
yeah.
funny.
The secret show is good though. We have a
the
giggly
secret
little
show's a lot of
audience
fun.
that smokes like some weed, and they were happy people, and it's a happy show. And as like annoying as it is that like good vibes and all that stuff, it is 100% that. And pouty people usually just leave. I've never really had. I don't think we've had sad people.
No,
a couple of
it's
people
a fun show.
passed out
Yeah, we've had a couple greeners.
from standing position, like straight backwards.
Yeah,
into
if you're
chairs.
gonna come to the show, just be prepared to like smoke weed, have water to stay
Take
hydrated.
breaks.
Yeah,
Well,
go
just get a coconut water. There's sugar in it. That's good for your blood sugar. You got to keep that up.
eat a snack. There's Snickers bars.
There's lots of Snickers bars.
Yeah, popcorn.
Have a couple of drinks and grow the fuck up. It's just weed.
Yeah. That's something you have to repeat to yourself. Just learn to repeat that to yourself. It's just weed.
It blows my mind sometimes when I like watching some people pass out that I'm like, you're acting like you just got shot.
Yeah.
Like you're just like,
And then come to like, oh, must have been the weed. Like,
I'm fine. Am I okay?
Am
Like,
I
no,
okay?
you pissed yourself. Go outside. But it's a very nice environment.
it's lovely. Yeah, it's
No
a lot
one's
of
peed
fun.
themselves. That was for the bit.
No one has. The bathrooms
No.
don't smell very good.
But they're there.
But they don't stink into the room, which is nice. So I'll say that. This when you're in them, it's like yuck. But it's not dirty, you know? But like when you're in them, you're like, oh, old bathrooms. But it doesn't bleed into the
Yeah, they
Which is
smell like
nice.
your bathroom smelled like in like junior high.
Yeah, junior high bathrooms in there.
Like that kind of stink.
Yeah.
Like old bathroom smell.
Yeah, like a nice old bathroom smell.
It's the most unique show in town, though.
Easily. I love it.
Yeah, it
I like
is
that-
cool.
I like that the whole show gets higher as the show goes on. So
Oh, man.
at the beginning, they're a little uptight because no one's that high. And then they get like real giggly for like a few comics. And then they get super introspective at the end. And you'll hear a lot of like, whoa.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
Will, last week you said something about an animal or something. And so, like, the crowd was so, where they're
yeah.
just like, well, what was its name?
Yeah.
Or who, someone, one of
Mav
the
did
comics.
a joke
yeah,
about
yeah.
his cat
That's
needing
right.
to go to the vet, and everyone was like, oh.
Yeah, they get so invested in the story.
Yeah, they're really keen to come with you on a journey.
Yeah, yeah. And give you all the emotions you're looking
Yeah, like
for.
really going for a ride.
Yeah, if you have like an absurd bit, it's really fun to do there because you're like, imagine if dragons were real. Like, just imagine that for a minute.
And they're like, all
everyone's
right. They're like, yeah, okay.
On board.
Like,
like, yeah, the fire department would be way busier.
there's none of this, like, yeah, oh my God.
I'd call mine Frank. You're like, why? Why are you even getting to names? I just said imagine they're a real thing as a concept.
It's
Yeah,
like,
they take it way further than you ever intended to.
yeah, you can really play. You
Yeah.
can really play because there's none of that, like, when you're in a bar, like, convincing people that this joke's going to be good by, this quick set. You could just literally be like, yeah.
The best was a couple weeks ago. They weren't really having many of Alex's bits, and he just kept saying, I fucking hate you guys. And then I went up after and was like, no, I like you guys. Fuck, I'm not like Alex. And then the first time I stumbled, I was just like, you know what? Alex was fucking right.
Yeah. And everyone
They'll
takes
come
it.
along with you.
Yeah,
Listen,
they-
the problem was they were coming all the way with me, and then I'd tell the joke, and then everyone would just kind of be like, yeah.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, I do you not agree with me? And then
Yeah.
they'd all be like, yeah, we do agree with you. I'm like, then do something.
Give me a thumbs up.
React. Yes, snap.
dude, oh yeah. Oh my God.
It was the bit we were talking about too. I like it. It's one of the new ones talking about how if the apocalypse happens, I'd rather be closer to water because then I'll die for sure.
Yeah.
And it was super fun. I thought it was a great bit, and they went all the way, and then at the end they're just like, "Wow, yeah, nice."
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like if you try to write a joke if you tell a joke that you've written, like, I don't know, maybe it's just for me. Sometimes like you'll hear comics or like I'll like tell a written joke and the vibe in there is like, you fucking wrote that.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, I did. And they're like, we don't want to see that. It's like, what do you want? And they're like, you. Who you are. That's who we want. That's what I think.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
share experiences with them, and they'll happily listen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But if you like, you're like, all right, but here's this bit I've been working on. They're like, come on.
Yeah, like you can really toss ideas. Like you can, I don't know, man. I'm high now too, so I feel like one of them. It's fun how they
like one of them.
Yeah, and like you can bomb there, but you don't really bomb. Like sometimes they're just like they really reset quickly. You could bomb for 3 minutes and then just like they'll die at the 2 other jokes, or just like your first joke goes well and then they peter off and they're just like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But you can always win them back like that.
Yeah,
because everyone's waiting for the jokes.
Yeah,
which is nice. When a paid show, people are like, I should watch.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like a nice thing that no one's there on accident.
Yeah.
A lot of times we'll do comedy shows where someone's there on accident.
Oh yeah, there's no accidents going in there. Like
no.
Yeah.
Their parents had accidents, but
They are the accidents.
Yeah. This is where accidents gather.
Where accidents come to laugh.
That's how you guys should promote it. The secret show where accidents gather.
Were you an accident? Well, do I have a show for you?
Bring your bong.
Bring your bong, you big fuck up.
Does it have a wizard on it?
Yeah, come
Go ahead, bring her down, buddy.
Yeah.
What is that, a whole dab rig with a blowtorch? Fucking send her.
Yeah, you can bring your cape. Bring it. Bring it. No, your dad's not going to be there. No, your dad's an idiot. We think your dad's an idiot too.
It is, I will say it is the most inclusive show in Edmonton, hands down and 100%. There's white dudes with dreads and also white dudes with Trump shirts at that show.
Well, there are
sitting
people
next to each other.
We don't let certain people in.
Well, I'd imagine there's certain people you won't let in, but it is a very...
Well, let's just watch our words with this inclusive thing. Okay. I run an illegal weed show. I got to be careful with
Yeah, there's no cost.
promotion and who's going to find out about which group of people can't come in.
Yeah,
come to the show and find out.
The
who isn't there.
narcs can't come
Look around.
Jim, the promoter, come to the show. Find out who's not there. I don't know what the fuck that guy just said, but please come to the show we run together.
There's one group that's not invited.
Yeah. It's Will and his friends.
Yeah, this seems weirdly racist now.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to make it racist. I was trying to make it vague, not even vaguely racist, just like
outwardly specifically.
Yeah, trying to do it like
trying
the
to
way
make it WEGs it normal.
Yeah, the way like Chick-fil-A pulled out of
now
like
racist, but WEGs it normal.
like how Chick-fil-A pulled out of like supporting gay marriage quietly, and with through a business. That's what I'm trying to do.
That's it. Yeah.
Isn't there?
I get that.
There's a Chick-fil-A in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is where the Atlanta Falcons play. They're the ones who paid for it. I don't know how much you know about NFL football, but it is played on Sundays typically. And Chick-fil-A is not open on Sundays for religious reasons.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's never open?
It's not open. When the Atlanta Falcons play, unless they're playing in prime time on like Monday or Thursday, the Chick-fil-A is not open in the stadium.
In the stadium. Oh, man, that's a bad business
The whole
decision.
stadium is open, and then just the Chick-fil-A is closed.
That would be so awesome to be that old and rich. Like just to be like, I'm gonna shut my business down.
It's like, I want it for our 2 Monday games.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And
How
they
many
have to
nights a
be
week do
home.
they play there?
Well, dude, because you only get
It's a
half your...
16-week season.
Well,
and
you
have
play...
8 home games a year?
You have 8 home games a year, and if you have primetime games, I don't think you're guaranteed a home primetime game every year even, because there's not enough. There's only 17 weeks. There's 32 teams. I guess, yeah, everyone gets one primetime, but it wouldn't be at home.
What does primetime mean?
There's night games. So primetime is like because it's the only game on and it's after work. So like most of America tunes into the games. So it's more likely for like casual fans to watch and stuff. So it's a big market thing. They get a bigger market share. So the teams
People
like
watching,
it.
but they can't eat Chick-fil-A anyways.
Yeah, but Chick-fil-A
They're at
can
home.
advertise on Sundays.
They should put the game on in a Chick-fil-A.
They shouldn't advertise on Sundays, man. The
Yeah.
Lord's just trying to watch his programs.
Well, they did all the work for the advertisement on Wednesday, and they just sent it to the people who are there working on Sunday. Those are the sinners.
The heathens.
The heathens are posting the Chick-fil-A ads. The Chick-fil-A guy is sitting at home not saving kids from wells or whatever the Bible says to do.
Not saving a kid from a well. I wouldn't.
That's a real
Why would
story in
you?
the Bible.
That you didn't. Well, yeah. Is that like the Bible is like fairy tales, like cautionary tales for adults?
Yeah.
That's who it's
But
for.
also, it's like, okay, there were wells aplenty back then.
Yeah.
If I heard that a kid fell in a well, I'd be like, where is a well?
If I saw you holding a kid, having just saved him from a well, but I didn't know you saved him from a well, I'd be like, why are
Just
you
holding
putting
a
that
wet
kid
kid.
in the fucking well? Now you're going down. How to make a well murderer, Jim Kerr style.
And then they'll look at the
Netflix.
footage and be like, oh.
Did he?
Footage. They're not video recording wells.
Did he?
They
Did
should.
he kill the well kid? Did,
Or- Save all
Or
the
if you
kids
look
from
at it in
falling in.
reverse.
yeah, the
Did he
kid's
save
in the well
kid?
still the whole trial. Like, we can't get this kid out until we deal with
We don't know if he
who
saved
put him in there. Who put you in there? And he's like, I'm a kid. I don't know.
I'm a kid.
Yeah, I don't know. Wells are good.
I haven't seen one.
For the record,
Ever?
that story was it was a New Testament one where Jesus was like, no, you should still save kids from the well. Just so.
You should?
Yeah. That was the lesson.
I mean, I guess you can't learn a lesson if you die in like as the lesson is being dealt, right? So you got to be saved and then be like, fuck.
What was the kid doing?
Well, the kid fell into a well,
That's
and
the
then
part where it's like, why?
he was fetching water or whatever you did in the year one.
Water. Isn't it
And-
like you put a bucket down and you like?
I don't know how you
I
got
think that's
water
how
out of
wells
wells
work.
when Jesus was around, dude. I'm not a historian.
I'm feeling a little.
You feel like he could just zap it up or something.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't around for
I feel
the
like
kid.
they understate what his
Do you wanna
powers
wait?
were.
I don't know, man. It happened in the Bible.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't doubt that it for sure probably didn't happen in real life, but it happened in the Bible. But I'm just thinking more about kids falling in wells generally. I feel like what?
It was hard. You lean into
You look in and you're like, oh, it's just a big deep.
But
hole.
well, you go to fetch the bucket, but the bucket is heavy. So as you pull, instead of pulling it up, you pull yourself down because the bucket weighs more than you do as a child.
Yeah.
So instead of
Get the
pulling,
ratios wrong.
instead of pulling up, you're pulling your own body weight down,
Man.
and then you and the bucket go.
I'm sorry, olden day
splunk.
kids. I don't know. I feel like
That's how it sounded in Mickey Mouse. So we go spakunk.
spakunk. No one ever thought of just putting fucking ladder steps in wells as you build them.
I don't know, maybe.
I could have been
I'm sure
I
they
could have
didn't
been
build.
rich back
I don't
then.
think they build wells though. They dig them. They just drilled.
with their big power tools.
I don't
They're
know.
in there with a shovel.
I
man.
guess.
I don't know.
I don't know, dude. Maybe it wasn't even a kid stuck in a well. Maybe it was just a kid in trouble with like a wolf or like an ox.
I think like
a cart fell over on
They
him.
say Jesus could walk on water, which is basically, I think we can agree, flying. I think he probably had other cool powers, and they're like, no one will take this seriously for like, and then he fucking like brought the kid out of the well with just his mind. Like, people won't believe that. They'll believe water into wine and shit like that. They'll believe the water thing.
I don't think the story didn't even end with Jesus using his mind to save a kid.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. They leave that part out because they'll be like, the people won't believe that if we put in that he had mind moving powers.
No, he just convinced another
Imagine
guy.
there's a director's cut that's got all the juicy like, and then he fucking zapped him with his eyes. Like, I bet Jesus was cooler.
No, he just convinced another dude to go save the kid.
Yeah, I guess
He
that's, didn't like to get his hands dirty.
Yeah, well, the old guy was like, "It's the Sabbath. I'm not gonna work." And then,
Damn.
and then Jesus.
That's why he didn't want to save a kid, because it was the Sabbath.
Yeah,
That's
that's how seriously some people take the Sabbath.
man.
That's why you close a Chick-fil-A on a Sunday
Yeah, I guess.
in a football stadium.
Would you kill a kid? I mean, yeah. Would you?
Would I kill-
No. Would you not save a dying kid because it was Sunday? Like, as a football fan?
It depends how the Panthers are doing. Luke Kuechly retired today at the age of 28. Can you imagine? That'd be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Boo. I remember I actually watched today the footage of him being carted away after, I think it was in 2016, where he got like a bad concussion and he's like crying pretty much on the way to the.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, that's a person who's not going to remember things later in life and probably have violent mood swings and things like that.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He also is one of the greatest players of all time.
could you
Yeah,
make the
he's-
argument that football players are actually not at fault for beating their wives?
I think probably some people will try. The thing is, you can only
I would plead that in court.
You can only test for CTE after you die. So,
Or after you beat the shit out of your wife.
well,
Yeah, I wonder how many
God,
times they have to
sorry,
make
I
that
love it.
correlation
That
for it
wasn't-
to become proof.
I guess like if you have violent mood swings, then you could just like blame the NFL.
Yeah.
yeah, I think some people sort of.
Do they take accountability for that? They're good with that, right? The NFL.
No.
No,
That's
dude.
they're-
Not a sports guy.
There's a whole movie about how they've mistreated people horrifically.
The
with
NHL
whole
doesn't even
CTE thing.
believe in like CTE.
Avatar?
They haven't even admitted that yet.
We don't believe it.
They're like, the science is still out.
It's like climate change.
Jury's still out on whether. Ooh, Jesus! Sorry, that guy just broke his neck behind me.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
sound just kind of.
He'll be back. Yeah.
Anyways, no effect. No effect on these players whatsoever.
I mean, I just think they should make it public knowledge, and then if you're willing to take that risk, go ahead and play.
Well, I think it's public knowledge now.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have any of it.
Really? You don't like? I don't think we should cancel sports. I think they should just be allowed to play if they know.
Cancel culture.
Sure.
If they know what they're doing. If you know what you're getting into, let them do it.
I'm not saying cancel it. You're just not allowed to do it anymore.
That's canceling it.
No, it's not. It's not canceling. It's up
That's
to you.
legislating it out of
So
existence.
how bad do you want to play this game? Okay, how bad do you want to not go to jail?
But if you go to jail, you can't play the game, so you're not
You
letting
can
them
only play the game in jail.
You-
Twist.
Longest yard, baby. That's how we do it. It's like the gladiators. Our prisoners become our athletes.
Now, see, I could get behind that. I think
And
that'd
that
be
would
cool.
go really. That's a lot better for like human rights of
Yeah,
citizens.
You're giving them purpose.
right. of playing-
Pedophiles have to play in the NFL.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would be
They
amazing.
have to return punts.
Yeah, in private prisons, and the best private prisons draft. Like it's just the private prisons are drafting now, and they don't have to pay advertising.
from the private
No, they can't
They don't have
accept
to pay the players anything, so all the ad revenue goes directly to the state. Well, I guess
To
to
they're-
the private prison.
To the-
It's
Fuck!
it's the private prison.
Oh no, that makes this
There's
way
the
worse.
Gillette private
whoa,
prison.
Whoa, no.
What do you mean? Way worse.
I don't know how much you know about
I
private
thought the question was,
prisons,
how do we make more money?
but
How does the NFL gain more money?
private prisons have a history of incarcerating minorities in order to
No,
make money.
all prisons do.
Well,
Not all
Let me
prisons.
finish my
Not medieval
sentence.
prisons.
Let me
Medieval
finish my
prisons were just like,
sentence.
bricks and wire.
That's true.
But they had stew.
Go on, Alex.
They were political prisoners.
They have a history of incarcerating minorities in order to increase profits and then using them to create products and not paying
So the
them for
business
anything.
plan
It's
is
essentially
already set up.
I
Just
think that's kind of
modern
what Will
day-
was saying.
Yeah.
slavery.
Yeah.
And also the
No.
NFL.
They can
Paying
play.
your debt to society.
Make it known
Paying
that
your
if
debt
you
to
go
a
to jail,
company in
you're going to
society.
have to play football. And then it's up to citizens to decide whether or not they want to risk playing, CTE.
So citizens can also play? Well,
No.
Prisoner is still a
He's
citizen.
saying it's a good way
Oh,
to
okay.
entice people to
Oh, I
stay out of
gotcha.
jail.
you can decide if you want to get potentially
Or go
get
in.
CTE.
right?
Yeah.
Because then the blame would be directly laid on. You'd have more responsibility as a person going into the game, being like, you're going to jail, right? And they'd be like, I just fucking love football.
So if you're like the
Love
best
football.
wide receiver in the world, you got to kill a guy before you.
Yeah, if you want a 10-year contract, you have
Yeah,
to get a
don't
10-year
have
sentence.
to
Yeah.
kill a guy. You don't have to kill him to go to jail for 10 years.
Well, I
Just beat
Get
him up real
probation.
bad.
rob a guy.
Get probation, break probation, break it one more time, and then you're in the NFL.
Man, but you could get injured at any of those points and your career would be over.
Yeah.
It's a risk you got to take for
The
your.
risk you got to take.
Well, no,
For
your
the love of
career
the game.
wouldn't be over. It would just be a lot harder. It would be your career as a football player would be harder with two fingers.
Oh, so you got to play injured.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. If you fucking rob a
Got CTE, they're like, put him back in. They pull up the blue tent. They're like, he's got it. Put him back in.
Oh my God, yeah, it wouldn't matter. You know, in games
wouldn't matter.
in
It
football, when they stop the whole game or like after the play's done and they come out in stretchers, none of that would happen. None of that would.
Just roll him to the sideline.
No,
Put another one
No,
in.
they
Open
would
the
leave.
cell.
like rugby, where there's just like a man dying on one end of the field, and the game is going on.
They just open another cell, hand the guy pads and a jersey. They're like, you're a linebacker now. He's like, I'm 5'5".
And your wife's just like, pick him up! Pick him up! Save my husband! Get him right now! He's got a 7-year, and then you could refer to jail stints as contracts. I picked up a 3-year
I got a pretty
contract.
sweet deal.
The NFL. It would be better because like then there wouldn't. It would be better because like now it's like, well, people are like, well, the players know, but the thing is that the NFL, it has such like a giant power against this kid. Like they can take them from 0 to nothing, like nothing to everything. You know?
Yeah.
I never realized how bad that sounded. Oh my God.
I love football, dude.
I
It's
don't
my
mean it like that.
favorite.
I just mean like I can't even in my own head be like, how do you even play that and like, you know, like risk dying or getting bumped. I heard
It's so
when
fun.
I stub my toe, my day's over.
I don't know.
That's
dude.
what I'm saying. Did you record that part when I said the prison thing?
I have the audio of it.
Cut that out. Cut it out. I don't want to. That is the most. Yeah. If I don't even, and I didn't even explain myself very well. I guess I said the prison thing before. That's
Yeah.
where you should go. I don't mean, and now it seems racial. I didn't mean it
Now
in
he's
a
gonna
racial
turn his
way.
mic off
I didn't
again.
mean it in a racial way. I wish my fucking mic was off now. Now I have to explain my way through this. I don't know how. It just seems like it seems like more of a sentence, like a nightmare. You know what I mean? Like it
Yes,
seems like
getting
something.
a football contract is like something that you wouldn't want.
Yes.
Like an NBA contract seems fun.
Woo!
Like
Jump in.
Baseball, you're just hanging out with the boys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
playing catch,
Just swinging.
swinging,
Just
missing most of the time,
trying. Honestly, most of my job, I just give it my best shot.
hitting 300. You're the best in the league.
Golfing,
Yeah, that's
wonderful.
So funny. Can you imagine like if 70% of the projects you handed in were absolute shit?
Yeah.
Like they didn't get anywhere.
and you were the best student.
Yeah, you're the best one.
Yeah, but then for that to work, then your boss would also be having to give you all the problems and all the projects that were he thought impossible to solve, like impossible
Yeah.
to do. He'd
Yeah.
be giving you impossible projects, and if you came up with 30% of those,
Yeah, actually, that's pretty good.
he's like, you piece of shit. all right, fine.
Send him to jail.
Send him to jail.
Is it Goodwill Hunting? That's the one where he solves the like math equation
Oh,
on the
yeah.
board. Just a whole bunch of those. He just hands you like 100 of them. You're like, well, here's 30. He's like, what the fuck?
He's like, I don't know the answer to any of them.
I just solved 30 of these unsolvable
I'm
equations.
batting 147. You got it, kid.
I ticked it. Does that count if you tick it?
It's a foul.
I know it's a foul. I've been playing
It
MLB
counts.
like crazy.
Yeah, it counts as a strike except for you can't go out on a foul.
Right, but I mean for your batting average. Does your strike, your amount of times you swing the bat, does that matter?
No.
against- It's at bats, eh?
Yeah. It's how many at-bats end up on base.
Baseball's nice.
Baseball has the most statistics out of
It's-
any sport in the world. It's crazy.
It's insane. Like,
They
people,
measure literally every aspect of the game.
man, the Oakland, that movie Moneyball,
Yeah.
like the depth that they go into, like explaining the mathematics of like how pitchers work and like how drafting players works is so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like, you ever meet a real good gambler? Like people who talk about like doing like parlays and like that kind of stuff. I can't follow Do you understand it? Did you ever get into gambling?
I don't know what a parlay is.
So you were never a gambling addict.
No, not a gambling. I mean, like I went through my thing with slot machines for a while. I worked with a comic that was like really cool. It was my first week at the Strip. Really, really cool, really nice. And we went up to the casino after, and they just turned into like a different old, like creepy, like smoking and just like and like and like total like just hitting and rubbing the screen, and it was like weird. But I put $20 in, and I think I won like 40 or 60 or something, and in my head I was like, well, if you go, you're gonna win some. So I went for at like whenever I was at the comic strip, I would go upstairs and spend like $20 on the slot machine. So I did that for a bit, and like I haven't lost significant amount of money gambling, like less than 100 for sure.
Yeah.
So I can't play poker.
Me neither.
I don't get it. That's okay with me.
Yeah.
Everybody who says they get it seems to fucking lose all the time. So
Yeah, that's
Good
true.
point.
I don't know anybody who's been like, oh, I know poker and I'm really good at it. They're always like, I'm a student of the game. It's
Yeah.
like, why would I do that?
You watch
Still
it on
usually
Sportsnet, you're
lose.
unemployed.
Go to learn how to lose money. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he got me on the river.
What
No.
a stupid thing to say.
Yeah. Oh man, I would have had him if what?
If you were
You were
at the
better
game.
if there was chance. You don't even know. You don't even know how you would have been better. You just lost money, dum dum.
Some people think poker players are athletes.
Who?
Well, people think poker is a sport.
Well, yeah, but no one thinks a poker player is an athlete. That's a huge difference. That's where
I
I
mean,
think
I
this
guess.
argument has ran into problems forever.
I don't think
Because-
poker's a sport, though.
I remember in high school
Is it-
arguing
People say
with.
It's a game.
I think poker's a game. Maybe
Well,
I can see the argument.
it's not even a
Maybe. I'm
game.
not. Hold on. I'm not actually. It's like you
I
agreed with
definitely
me, and then
think-
you were like, I might be disagreeing with him soon, so I'm gonna put myself in the gray area
Hold
here.
on.
You're like, poker is a game. Fuck, maybe, in case I disagree with you later.
I'm trying to find a reason in my head to justify it as a sport, and I can't find one.
No, it's a card game.
Other than it being on Sports Center, there's
Yeah,
no.
that doesn't
It's a
make
game. You're moving your body.
Yeah,
barely.
There's strategy.
yeah.
It's a board game. It's a card
Is
game.
trampolining a sport?
Yeah. It's
No.
like an Olympic sport.
It sounds as ridiculous
think,
as
yeah.
putting poker in the Olympics.
Yeah, I think you could.
I
Be,
don't know.
I think trampolinists are athletes.
They do like flips and stuff.
but I don't think trampolining is a sport. I think you're doing like an athletic event. I don't know how to.
What would you
explain it.
call a poker?
Poker is not
What
though.
would you call a poker player then?
Poker's a game, and you are a
Player.
yeah.
Poker player.
You're a professional. You're
that's
a gambler.
what they call people.
You're a card player.
Why are we talking about this? About if they're athletes or not? Who said this?
Me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jim. I don't
It's
like
just
that.
Jim. Jim's the
That's-
only one.
No,
who
I'm-
It's not even a real. They
Nah,
already have a
I'm-
word
This
for
is
it.
how Facebook works. People are like, these people are saying the poker players are athletes. Like, no one said that.
But people say poker's a sport.
Do they?
Yeah,
sporty.
man.
It's sporty,
No.
and the people who play it are little sports.
a game.
People are wearing sweatpants sometimes.
They're little
But-
sporty fellas. Or
Okay, but we talked about
ladies
this with
or
Rowan.
people.
Like, esports aren't a sport either.
what?
They're esports.
They're not.
It's right in
They're
there.
e-sports.
Poker's trying to pretend it's a sport.
It's not called poker sport. If it was called poker sport,
Card
it's like,
sports.
I guess it is a sport.
How is it less of a sport than playing a video game? How is playing
No,
cards?
playing a video game is called esports.
but why?
team
Why
members.
is it called
You have
sports?
team members.
Why is sports in the name of it?
Well,
How
it's
is it
its
a
own thing.
sport?
No, that doesn't mean it's a sport. It's an esport.
But it does.
No,
Yes.
no.
What do you mean?
If you call
What did you
something
say?
a sport, if you have the word sport in your name, then it
It's
has
a
to be a
sport.
sport.
Not if it's
Then
esports.
it is a
man.
sport.
Esports
It
is making new
because
rules.
it's in the name, not it has the name because it is.
But is poker a sport? No.
It is as
No.
much as playing video games is a sport.
playing video games isn't a sport. It
Then
would.
why do they call it
Esports is a
esports?
sport, but playing video games is not a sport.
Yeah.
But being an
But
esports
if-
is playing video
You're on
games.
an esports team.
But if someone's like,
You're a
here's
team.
if someone's like, here's a list of
So
sports.
playing poker isn't a sport. but
You're
being
not on a team.
But being
No,
a professional
Alex,
poker
Golf
player is
not on a team either.
if somebody gave you a list of sports, and esports wouldn't be on there, but some people would put poker on there.
But
And they're wrong.
You know what? If you put poker not on your list and your esports not on your list, that's fine with me. I don't care. I don't care.
We're making.
But
new
why
rules.
do we call it an e-sport then? Why did we use
That's
the word
what
sport?
they are calling them now because they have teams and things and they battle. and
activity.
there's
Sport is the wrong word. If we can't call poker a sport, then
Some
we
of them
can't
are
call
sports.
video game a sport.
Water sports. Are they sports?
Yes.
Because they're called water sports.
No, because it's like an athletic activity and there's like a goal that is kept and like a timed match.
And there's not in
Esports. You're-
esports timed activity, I'm
There's
assuming.
no physical activity at all.
They go like that.
But as much as poker is, you go, flip the river.
Hand-eye coordination. How is like if someone went around, what the
about
fuck
chess?
is golf? And they just made it sound stupid. You'd be like, that's not a fucking sport.
So that's what you're doing with poker. Counting
no, I'm not
cards
doing that
is
with
hard.
poker. Poker's just like cards and this. I don't know. It's a game. It's different. It's a game.
What about,
a game.
so is sport. So is video games. That's a game.
Sure.
Esports
But it's
is
called
e-games.
esports.
But why? Then the naming of sports is wrong. They shouldn't have called it esports.
It is though.
Who's listening?
That's
to
the
this
problem. Is it
podcast?
already is?
Yes, but
So you're
but
arguing
poker-
against something that already
poker
is.
already is
called
called a
poker.
sport. It's already a sport though.
It's not
No, it's not.
because it's
Yes,
not
it is.
in the
It's on
name.
Sports Center.
That doesn't
It's
make it a
that-
sport.
It's
So?
considered a sport.
That means TSN needed content.
I don't
Yeah,
know, man. It's darts is a sport.
And darts is another game.
it's a game. It can be associated.
It says okay, but do you guys not understand what I'm saying here?
No.
That those are games, and you refuse to call them sports, but you have no problem calling video games sports.
Yeah, because they're called esports.
Yeah, not
They're
called
already
sports.
other people are already calling them that officially. Oh,
Yeah, darts are officially a sport as well,
yeah, but it's
as
not
much as
called
esports
dart
are.
sports.
but you won't call darts a sport. You don't think it's a sport?
I mean, like, sure, it can be a sport if it wants.
It's
I
like a
don't
pub
care
sport.
if it's. But
Pub sport.
I'm saying like, it can be a sport if it wants. So can poker. Go ahead, call yourselves e-poker. What is that? Electronic poker. It's its own thing. Poker, e-poker.
Yes, but if it had nothing to do with poker, you'd be like, why the fuck is this called e-poker?
It,
So why is it called esports
It
if it
wouldn't
has
be
absolutely
poker
nothing
then.
to do with sports?
There are
Oh, I'm-
sports though. They do play sports.
No, they don't.
Well, they play sports games.
No, but okay, but not fucking Fortnite. That is not an esport, but the biggest esport championship was
what
Fortnite.
about what's that one where you
They
kick a
run
ball
and-
around?
Soccer.
No, with cars.
Soccer's basically an
Oh,
esport.
ultimate free.
I don't know.
The one where you hit Unreal turn. You know. It's,
The
there's a
ultimate
ball
fighting
and you're in an
championship.
arena and you drive around with and there's you hit the ball around into other people's, but you're a car.
I've never seen that.
It's
cool.
Sounds pretty sweet.
Oh, is it like Robot Wars?
No, it's not Robot Wars. It's soccer with cars.
Oh,
It's an esport.
what?
It's an esport. You have teams playing each other.
Oh, but you're not driving the car. You're playing on a video game.
Yes.
That's not a sport.
Why?
It's an esport.
Again, that would be like calling something e-poker, but there was no poker.
So you're
involved.
using something to play the game, and you're saying that's why it's not a sport. So
There's no physical. There's no like.
How is there not timing?
I know, but there's no like. It's not physically difficult. Like it doesn't take a lot of physical effort to do it. It's not like
It
a
takes a lot of
feat
focus
of
and attention.
athleticism. It's not an athletic feat.
No, it
To
might
be a
not
sport, you have to
and
do something
golfing
athletic.
is.
Yes,
And then just sitting.
bro. Go golfing. Tell me you're not sore the next day.
I'm not sore.
There's,
I went yesterday.
Dude, there's no way. Your torso gets all sore. Your forearms get sore. To
Well, if
drive
you're
a ball
weak-
like 400 yards
Yeah,
is
so
an athletic feat.
your fucking hands
Your
are all
hand
janked up
dexterity.
from like going like
Sitting
this.
in a chair for 13 hours?
Nah,
Yeah.
dude, when I was a fat 17-year-old, I could play video games no problem. I could not have gone and like
I get
hit
sore
under
thumbs all the
par.
time. I've gotten gamer's thumb. I'm not even kidding you. This is real. I went to the emergency room at 3 a.m.
That's how you know it's a sport. If you can get hurt, if there's
If
an
you-
injury, a physical
I got
injury
gamer's thumb.
associated.
I was 19 and my thumb was
19.
out. My bottom of my thumb was out to here, and I was playing NHL. And I looked down and I was like, "Oh no!" And the thing was, I was so bad at NHL. I would play my roommates and they would just take turns beating my ass. So I played all day, and I had this big gamer's thumb. And then I walked because I thought I was having a stroke. So I went to the emergency room. And they made me wait. Obviously, I'm a loser with a big thumb. And then the lady came and she was like, "Yeah, you have gamer's thumb." She's like, "Cool it on the video games." Like, she was so. I was like, "Whoa, sorry. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't a stroke." And she's like, "Why would that be a?" She was so like frustrated, like not frustrated, but
Buddy.
so exhausted. Just like, oh my god, one last appointment today, and then I get to go home, and I'm like, "Is my thumb? My thumb hurts from NHL from 2010, which is 5 years old at the time."
Hilarious.
But
I love that. I like that medical professionals just have no time for anyone.
I
Like
do.
your doctor could not give less of a fuck what it like. He's there to diagnose you, but he has no sympathy for whatever pain you're in.
well, you don't really need sympathy. You just need you need someone to be willing. Like patience is more important than sympathy, I think, because you can feel bad for someone all day, like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
But like, if you have patience to like understand the right
But
time to
they
deliver
also have that.
information,
They also don't have that
care
at
about
all.
that either.
They don't have time for it. They don't have time to be patient with you. They're like, I have to give you this information. This will make you feel better. Take it. I know that it hurts a lot. Everyone hurts a lot in here. Take the information and get the fuck out of my face.
Some people, the doctors have time. They're liars. They're not so busy that they're like, "Oh, you have cancer. I gotta go." You know, like
I don't know, dude.
fucking like,
They seem
Yeah.
pretty busy.
are they?
Have you ever
Nurses-
looked at a waiting room?
Yeah.
That's not. I don't see a doctor running around being like, "Your knees. Oh, I gotta get this guy. Oh,
Okay,
your
well,
knees."
yeah, because that's what they have offices for.
Yeah, they're
You
just
try-
sitting in there on
It's
their
very laid
fucking
back.
phone.
They put you in that. They put you in that little room and make you wait for a bit, and they stroll in and say, "So what's?"
Yeah,
what's
just
wrong?
make them wait enough so that and just spread it out through the day so it just feels kind of constant. That's what they're doing. They're not like, pack it in so I can help as many people as possible.
Yeah.
They've learned enough about the human body that they're like, fuck people.
Yeah.
Fuck, they're all gross and gonna die. Okay, this isn't true. I don't think all people. I don't agree with this. They all don't all. think
There's
this.
one group that he doesn't like.
Doctors.
You're not invited to the
Doctors
secret
are
show.
not
invited
allowed.
to the secret show.
Yeah, it was doctors.
I think they work super hard.
They work hard on themselves. That's what they do. They work hard to learn all this stuff so that they know it, so that they can be, "I'm a doctor." Go suck a dick.
Yo,
Truly,
fuck
like
doctors.
I don't think that they do it for themselves. They do it the same way anyone else does any other job. Like rich people aren't like, "Oh my god, he got rich. He's so smart. He probably has knowledge of fucking all sorts of." It's like, no, he only gives a fuck about himself. And then that has reaped him some benefit, and he's now able to share it with his family. He didn't do it for his family. His family, like, he wouldn't care. Like most business people that make it that high would have left their family behind, or probably did have multiple families. They don't do things to provide for others. They do it for themselves, and that's the same thing with doctors. I'm sure there's exceptions. There's nice guys, or that they can go on Instagram and plead for a minute. "Oh, I care, and I'm a doctor here." Or dentists and all that shit when they do their videos, and like when people do, they're not doing any of that for them. They're like for other people. They're doing it for themselves, so they don't care. The only reason a dentist smiles is because he knows how much fucking money he's making off of you. That's the only reason. He doesn't care about how your day went.
Oh my god, you're so cynical.
I'm sorry. That's not true. None of that is real. That's just a viewpoint.
That's just a viewpoint.
And I don't hold that all the time. So
Will's dentist was mean to him.
I haven't been to the dentist in a long time.
Will hates getting his teeth cleaned.
No, I just don't think. I just think people glorify what everyone does.
People
I don't
are
think-
doing things for themselves mostly.
That's all it is.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're not fucking super busy. Like, obviously a doctor did it to make money. Like, no one's going to be a doctor for no one's like, I'm gonna work my balls off to make, but they make a bunch of money. But people are like, these fucking doctors don't give a shit about their patients. It's like, yeah, dude, because you had a fucking swollen thumb from playing NHL video games.
And that's what I'm saying.
And this dude had to remove a pancreas this morning, and he got a little bit of the pus in his.
At a
fucking
Medicine?
mouth.
Fuck no.
No family doctors. Not no family.
Yeah, you went to emergency. You said you went to the emergency room.
Yeah, but it was late.
But is being
and I said I would wait. I said I didn't know where to go. I was like, there's no other fucking clinic around here.
Schedule? No one's pancreas erupts at 2 in the morning.
I'm
fucking late.
I'm 0-32.
I went in there.
That's I'm gonna go take a walk.
I did go in there. I was like, look, I got lots of time. This came from me having too much time on my hands. So I'm cool if you help that guy. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but then you just sit there forever because there would always be someone new coming in because there's always
bleeding.
Patients.
Fine, I'm not bleeding. I'm just looking at my thumb. Take your time, guys. Do your thing. Deal with me after. But it would suck that after dealing with all that shit, you have to deal with me being like, am I going to die? And they're like, no. And I'm like, dude, what do I do about this?
I might be having a stroke, but no, you can go first.
Just don't, like the one time that doctor would be like, just fucking Google it. Just Google your problem. The probably, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like WebMD's got a great bit on this.
Yeah.
Just check them out.
Yeah, just Google it.
This is so funny. This is why I'm going to die young. I don't feel like inconveniencing a doctor with my shitty problem.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm like, what does my chest hurt? I probably bumped it on something.
No, you should inconvenience the doctor. They're going to make a ton of money. They'll bitch about it and whatever. Like, you're making insane money. That's why I hate also, like, oil, like people going, thank all the oil and gas workers and shit like that. It's like, they're getting paid to do this.
Yeah.
That's not deserved of thanks. You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing it as a volunteer. Like, granted, I mean, you didn't join you're not volunteering your life to the oil industry. If I went up to any one of those guys, I was like, I'll match your salary, add 50 grand a year. You fucking walk around, tie my shoes every day. That's what you do. They would thank everybody who tied Will's shoes today. Remember, when you wake up and your shoes are tied, you remember that.
I don't know, man. I appreciate
workers.
I appreciate anyone who's willing to do something more difficult than what I'm willing to do. And I had the opportunity to go do that job and make that much money. And I looked at it and I was like, fuck that. That is too hard.
Yeah, well, they don't get to.
Too. Like,
they don't deserve. Yeah, fucking. Cause you're
so good for you.
You're getting money. Like, you can't say any. If you're getting paid, you don't have a voice. Is what I think. Not all the time though. Not all the time. Just right now.
Maybe.
No, that's maybe Alex. I don't believe this all the time, but right now I do. Mm-hmm. That's why NFL players, they don't. Oh, you guys get concussions and shit like that. Like, the NFL doesn't owe them anything. They're like, they don't, because they're. Oh, how much money are you getting? Oh, only $1 million for 3 years. Suck it up, like.
I agree with that. I think if they know all the shit, let them play, pay them a bunch of money.
Yeah, you want to do it, man. Like, I don't know. Everybody else in their whole life has to do shit.
Yeah,
and things suck.
But then you're like acting like it's not impressive, though. It's still like, yo, that's crazy.
It's not.
That's wild.
What, doctors or NFL players?
Both.
People way better at really awesome shit.
Both of those are wildly impressive to me.
I mean, yeah, they're impressive that someone has
more
the
impressed
commitment.
by an NFL player
than a doctor.
Yeah.
I think most people would be.
I'm equally as impressed by both of them.
There's more doctors than there are NFL players.
Yes.
More
I think, yeah. I mean,
coveted.
It's impressive that they finished something. Like, good job, you finished it. I don't know what else to say other than that, though. Like, it's cool, but I'm not going to stand there and be like, they're gods amongst men. They're like, no, these are self-centered people that are born or raised in a way that have focused that all their energy on themselves, and that the success looks from afar like they're doing something good for the public, but they're just trying to be dope for themselves.
No, dude, I mean, even I respect just the drive to wake up and do what they do. Are you... Dude, shift work, 12-hour shift work. I'm not in.
Have at her.
Not taking.
Have fun, boys. What are they motivated for, though? They want money. You don't want money as much as they want money. So why is that respectable. That they wake up every morning ready to leave people, ready to not form relationships, ready to miss parts of their children's childhood, ready to leave their wife at home to do everything so you can send her $5,000 back so she can't really say shit. You're fucking working hard. How is that more respectable than someone who is trying to make ends meet but is there and is around and doesn't work in this oil industry? Why does the oil and half those I just described the perfect situation of a guy who's actually out there working, sending money back home. I described the perfect oil field situation, not even the shittiest one. Like most of those guys are getting billed, their company bills the other company for 2 laborers, right? So they got to have 2 laborers even though there's not enough work. But and they bill the hours $70 an hour, the laborers make 40.
If it's so easy, just go do it then.
I'm not saying it's easy.
But that's
he wants to do it.
I just don't have that much respect for it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's hard as fuck, so I respect that. Like that's not easy shit to do. To go out there and minus 50, like deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
all
but
that
how does
noise.
it make you
Bundled
feel?
up.
Like how does it make you feel when a comic or when a person who's not a comic says that to you? Oh man, what you do is so hard. Like I respect you for how hard it is. It's like
I'm always like what you do is way harder. Bro, I took the easy way out.
Well, that's the thing is they might think your shit like it might be easier for them to shove parts of their brain and heart down to make money. It might be easier for them. It might be conducive to the way they were raised, to their negative behavior patterns. Might be great for leaving at long stretches of time.
So we just don't congratulate anyone.
No.
No one deserves
No
congratulations.
tips.
And that is
how
why
hard
I'm
you
not
work.
tipping tonight. Wouldn't that be the best speech?
This is 45 minutes.
Just reveals this is all to a server, or the skip the dishes guy. I've just been screaming at the skip the dishes guy this whole time. He's like, I got laid off, so I gotta fucking skip the dishes, and I'm like, you don't deserve respect. You're a piece of shit.
That's like money more than I do.
That's why I didn't even tip on the website or the app.
Or the app.
I always go to 0 on those things.
I know. Same here. I
I tip cash at the end, but I'm like,
That's
you
some others
these people are taking your tips, buddy.
The man's taking your fucking tips.
A dude delivered me skip the dishes the other day because it was like minus 36 degrees outside and I didn't want to leave my house and the warmth of like a blanket. So I tipped him because I was like, you're
Delivery
doing the thing
drivers
that
are the
I
real
don't
heroes.
want to do.
Yeah, they're the real heroes on like the super cold days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Ubers. Ubers when it's cold, I'll tip them well.
Yeah, those guys are
I
good.
still won't.
But if it's
I
like a
don't I don't tip
midsummer
Uber.
afternoon, I'm like, this
To
was
me,
easy for you.
With Ubering, like there wasn't a tip function for so long that once they brought one in, like I'm used to how I use this app. I'm not gonna
See,
start
I'd been
paying
taking
more.
cabs for so long that I was used to tipping that when I couldn't do it in Ubers, I would still just hand them cash.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
I always had cash too because I was bartending. So I just had a 5 at all times.
I feel bad for everything I said about the oil field people. I mean, a lot of them. I mean, they deserve respect as fathers and as
the same amount of
mothers
respect as
and
everyone else.
yeah,
But nothing
exactly. As stuff that they
But
do
nothing
in their
more.
own life. But I'm not going to congratulate a fucking for you participating in an industry that I frankly think is like a drug that this province is. It's bankrupt this province. It's turned it into a haven for morons, and it's like our province was built on the back of fucking 20-year-old cokeheads. Like,
That's good.
I have a hard time going, fucking thank God for them. They're there. You know, it's too bootlicker fucking kissing ass. So good job, guys. If
Yeah.
you made it to this part of the podcast and you made it to my apology, I just want to tell you that if you work in oil and gas, what I said earlier is 100% what I believe, and I've changed my mind on my apology, and I think you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
No, you're not a piece of shit. You have money. It's the same feeling when someone bitches about like world hunger and you're like an actor or some shit like that. You're like, you have millions, you go fucking do something. Like, it's that same feeling of like, why are you talking? You get money. Like, you're being paid well. And like, it's like if teachers revolt, it's like, yeah, okay. That seems reasonable. Because you're not paid well. We don't pay you well. We all know that sucks. They deserve respect sometimes.
Fuck teachers.
Some of them deserve respect for getting into a game that they actually love and they want to be a part of, and it's disappointing or it's been hard. You deserve respect for getting into something with a passion and fighting it out through. That's what you deserve respect for. Fighting all the hardships out and still being passionate about that shit. But if you're a fucking 23-year-old girl and or guy, I just gendered it. But if you're a 23-year-old person and you just go and get an ed degree because you fucking Bachelor of Science was too hard, then you don't even know what you could do with a science degree even after that, other than become maybe a lab tech. And then so you decide to teach people's children, but you jump into it like a fucking fresh out of high school marriage. You're like, I guess I'll just do this and fucking fuck all these kids up. Like, yeah, that teacher doesn't deserve respect.
Yeah.
Like you're there.
Yeah, but that's every industry.
Yeah.
There's comics like
exactly.
that.
There's every industry. So why thank oil and gas? Fucking thank everybody. Thanks for being good fucking people and being passionate about it.
Yeah, man. I think you should mostly thank everyone. I think most people.
You should be a politician.
I thank the ladies at the Tim Hortons drive-thru.
Yeah.
I thank them for my coffee when I get one.
Yeah, be kind.
And I thank bartenders, and I thank most people.
Yeah, you should thank everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being around.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for being a friend.
Yeah. That's the message of today's podcast, everybody. Tell people thank you. That's an hour. Look at that. An hour 7.
Yeah.
We nailed that.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I would like to retract everything I've said so
Hey,
far.
actually, if you want to, see Will in person, depending on how you feel about this,
full apology.
depending on how you feel about the things that have been said, he's actually headlining Alex and I's show.
Yeah.
On the 22nd.
Yeah.
At Station on Jasper.
Station on
Headliner.
Jasper.
Will, I hate and don't respect anyone, Hannigan.
Which isn't true. I think a lot of people are good.
Sort of.
My heart is good. Believe me, my heart is good. But it's only a reflection of how much I hate myself that I'm talking like this. The only reason that I'm so hard on other people is because I don't think I'm worthy of love from others. So
Will, introspective Hannigan.
Well, when I speak like that, that's what that means. So
Will's growing as a person. He's been going to a therapist lately.
no, I haven't. I haven't been going to a therapist.
I've actually been giving therapy to others.
I've actually been telling people how it is and how to change their lives.
That's
frankly,
true. And if you want to be part of that, come
no
to the
one's
station.
listened. And you know what? Retract my apology again. No apology at all. Everyone watching this owes me an apology.
Come give it to him on January 22nd.
January 22nd.
Come apologize
Show
to
up
Will
to the
for what you've
station,
done.
and you, if you want to talk to me, apologies. I am owed at least an apology from you, whoever it is watching. Whatever you think you owe me, it's at least an apology. There's no maximum, but at least a heartfelt apology in a letter.
This has turned into a wrestling promo, and I like it.
Enjoy the rest of your lives, guys. Deuces.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.